Hello, everybody. Welcome into HQ Spotlight. I'm Katie Moggs. Haley Sutton will jump into this chair for hour two. But first, we're going to start with some high stakes, the NFL postseason. So let's get right into it. The NFL playoff bracket is set in the AFC. The Denver Broncos earned the 1 seed and the bye with wild card matchups headlined by the Bills and the Jags. Over to the NFC. The Seahawks sit atop, and the road runs through Philly as the San Francisco 49ers visit the Eagles. Win and survive. The road to Santa Clara starts right now. And with that, welcome in our resident GM and NFL analyst, Rand Carthon, for some NFL superlatives. This is always a fun one. So let's start with the wild card right now. What is the best game in this year's wild card round?
I personally think it's going to be the Chargers at the Patriots. I think these are two evenly matched teams, two teams that have young, hot quarterbacks that can do multiple things, that can throw the ball, that are active with their legs, but then their defensive fronts are so stout, and two defensive fronts that are, their concept is to build a wall. Right?
Yep.
It's to stop the run, build a wall, make it a hard entry point for the back, and I think both of these teams are matched the same. They have two hard-nosed head coaches who are no strangers of creating just toughness. This is what they're both built on. So I think this is going to be a really good, forget the number 7 seed, number 2 seed. I think this is going to be a really good, evenly matched ballgame. You
know, there's a lot of question marks about the Patriots. Obviously, the number 2 seed had a chance to get the number 1, but people, of course, are going to talk about their schedule. This will be a real test for them, and you could just never make me hate Jim Harbaugh. I love that guy. All right, let's talk about the best chance at a first-round upset. We got some dogs in this one.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with, and this is probably low-hanging fruit, as Pete Prisco would say, but I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers over the Bears.
Okay.
Because the Green Bay Packers are the number 6 seed. If I'm saying that, if I'm remembering this correctly, they're the number 6 seed. And they've already beaten the Bears. And this is a game between two division rivals that, again, you can throw out records at this point, and especially now we're in the tournament, is win or go home. This is a game here. This is a matchup that could easily be an upset just simply because of the seeding. Not has anything to do with whether one team is better than the other, but simply because of the seeding, I think Green Bay has the potential to upset the Bears.
I'll tell you what, none of those fan bases, I think, wanted to see each other in this wild card round because, as you said, extremely heated rivalry here. Packers are the number 7 seed here, and the Bears are the number 2 seed. But as we saw in that game versus the 49ers, the Bears defense has some problems that Jordan Love could possibly explode. Let's talk quarterbacks right now, and the best quarterback, because you've got two quarterbacks that are up at the top for MVP, in Matt Stafford and also in Drake May. Who do you like?
I'm saying Matt Stafford's the best quarterback. He's a championship quarterback. He's won a Super Bowl already. We know what his career has been to this point. But, Katie, it's like you said, he is the favorite right now to be the MVP of the entire league. Has played out of his mind at 38, 39 years old, 40-plus touchdown passes this year.
No look.
And is leading this. Put it like you saying the no look. There's always that one old guy at the park that can, no matter what, can always shoot the ball. Matthew Stafford is that old guy at the park that will always be able to throw the football and do some cool and unique things with his arm. And so, to me, he's the best quarterback right now.
Yeah, and I was on that graphic, most touchdowns this season with 25, and he's just been absolutely ridiculous. As a 49ers fan, he has hurt my feelings a time or two before. Let's talk about offense as a whole. As you laid out here with Matt Stafford, this is one of the better offenses in the postseason. Do you like the Rams as the best offense? Are you looking elsewhere?
Oh, I'm looking elsewhere, and I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm giving the folks in Duval County some love right now. Shout out, or Duval.
Duval.
Shout out to Jacqueline and her football team, her favorite team. But the way Liam Cohen has this offense functioning right now, he has Trevor Lawrence playing some of the best ball that we've seen him play. And you cannot talk about enough the acquisition of Jacoby Myers and what he has done to not only that wide receiver room, but this offense as a whole. He is the leader of that offense right now. And then the unsung hero of this offense, Travis Etienne. And his ability to, whether it's running the ball or being a factor in the passing game, he offers them a guy that can just make plays for him. And then one of my favorite players this year to watch and just see him grow into his own has been Parker Washington. I mean, in a perfect world, Parker Washington is their 4th receiver. Right? And he's going to get paid this offseason to be someone's number 2, and he's also a dynamic punt returner.
Well, to see them where they are, too, losing Travis Hunter, I mean, that was such a big blow to them midway through the season. But let me ask you about Trevor Lawrence here, because I feel like there's been so much said about him over the years, right? He was supposed to be the second coming of Andrew Luck. It's been up and down. He hasn't had the best coaching, regime behind him. What do you think of his performance this year?
I think he's playing to the level that everyone thought that he would be. Like you said, Trevor Lawrence coming out, he was being heralded as the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck or even John Elway for some people. And so we saw the up and down. But again, we're talking about a young player who came from a Clemson system that really didn't ask for him to make a ton of reads. It was simple reads for him, and he played with so many great athletes. But then now you brought him to Jacksonville, where it was head coach or OC after head coach. He played for so many different people, so many different schemes, and then you bring in Liam Cohen, who I believe is more than bringing him along as a passer, and he is hard on Trevor Lawrence. He's just coaching him hard and is holding him accountable in a way that I'm not sure he's been held accountable before.
It's been really nice, just from a story and a narrative perspective, to see him rise to the occasion and be the quarterback that he was drafted to be. Let's talk about the best defense, and I know it's not going to be the 49ers. They're on their second and third stringers, but you look at a former 49ers coach, DeMeco Ryans with the Texans, or even those Seahawks and what they were able to do with the 49ers offense. Those are two of the best defenses right now.
No, they are, and I'll say, and I'll give you, it's not going to be the 49ers. It'll be 49er adjacent.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going with DeMeco Ryans and his Houston Texans defense. One of their mantras, and I can't give you the meaning of the acronym off the top of my head, but you hear the Houston Texans defense, all they preach is swarm.
And they do.
Swarm. And if you watch this team play, I love more than anything else seeing how many guys they have flying to the ball. And for our viewers at home, when you're watching this Houston Texans defense this weekend, I want you to just pause at the tackle point, just pause the TV and count how many Houston Texans players are in there. And you see this bad man on camera right now. Danielle Hunter had more sacks than Will Anderson Jr. and did not make the Pro Bowl. Try that on for size.
Travesty.
You have those two guys off the edge. You have an opportunistic secondary where those guys fly around, because not only do those guys cover you and they get their hands on the ball, but every single member of their secondary will come up and put their face on you and tackle you. And so, but all these guys play with the demeanor of their head coach and their defensive coordinator, Mac Burke, who will hear his name in some of these head coaching interviews. But I love watching this Houston Texans defense play.
I love them too. I don't like playing against them. Let's talk about the best coach, because you talked about Liam Cohen and what he's been able to do with the Jags. Pretty amazing. We talked about Harbaugh and what he's able to do to literally any organization that he touches. And then you got Mike Vrabel turning this Patriots team into what they were last year to what they are today. Who do you like for best coach?
Well, honestly, it could have been a toss-up between Liam Cohen and the guy I'm going to name, and that guy is Mike Vrabel. And again, what they've both been able to do it's been phenomenal, and it's been great, and we see the result of that. But where I give Mike the edge, I do think that the Jacksonville Jaguars roster as a whole is more talented than this New England Patriots roster. I think Mike has maximized the ability of every single player that he has. And then you talk about a leader of men and having someone to come in and establish a culture, a way of doing things. And the New England Patriots are back to that. You talk about that whole era and that era in which Mike Vrabel came from. A lot of core foundations and beliefs that he had came from his tenure as a New England Patriot, and a lot of that has been reinstilled in this group, and you see it. You saw what Drake made. You saw the promise that he had last year. But again, you to see the development, the huge jump that he's taken. And we give Mike Vrabel a lot of the credit, but let's also give Josh McDaniel some credit there for his ability to coordinate this offense around Drake May. But again, it all leads back to the head coach. He made the decision to bring on Josh McDaniel as the head coach. And let's not forget, this defense has played well. They've been one of the top teams defending the run, but they've been without their defensive coordinator for most of the year. Defensive coordinator Terrell Williams is dealing with some health issues and complications, and Big T, we wish you nothing but the best, and thoughts and prayers are with you and Tiff and the family. But they've made the adjustment and continue to do well as a unit, as a group, because it's like you said, it's do your job.
And that's what he learned, obviously, from Bill Belichick. And you know Vrabel for working with him with the Tennessee Titans. When he took this job into the Patriots, did you think that he would be Coach of the Year 1 year in?
Not necessarily Coach of the Year, because we have so many great coaches around the league.
But I guess you're best head coach.
But go. I'm going to challenge you. Go back to early September. I had the Patriots as a playoff team. And not necessarily winning the division or being the number 2 seed. I didn't have them, but I thought because of Mike Vrabel alone that this could be a playoff team, just the way they were constructed. And I thought that this team could be a playoff team.
Well, then here they are. All right, best path to the Super Bowl. Obviously, it's easier to win 3 games than 4, but it's not impossible. What do you think?
So this is, if Pete's watching this, he's going to absolutely crush me. I'll get a text.
Pete, tune in.
It's low-hanging fruit here, but it's a different reason. I'm going with the Broncos and the Seahawks. And not necessarily because they're getting the bye. It's because of both of these venues that they play in. They're not leaving home. And if you're a player on that football team, your schedule, your routine is going to be the same. You know where you're sleeping the night before the game, because if you win football games, you're not leaving your respective home.
True.
But then on top of that, both of these venues are 2 of the hardest venues to play in. We know how loud it gets in Seattle with the 12s and those groups, and how they've registered on the Richter scale because of how loud it gets. But then you got to go to Denver. And the altitude, the mile high. I've played in it. And I could just remember my running back coach, Gene Huey, shout out to you, Gene, telling me it's mental. It's mental. And I'm like, damn it, it's physical. Not. My lungs are burning. That has nothing to do with my mind. That mile high, that altitude will play a factor in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it absolutely does. And we've seen it in basketball as well with the Denver Nuggets. Good stuff from Rand. Let's take a look at the odds, or the shortest odds rather, to win the Super Bowl. The Seahawks right now are the favorite here at plus 420, followed by the Rams, then the Broncos. Wow, the NFC getting a lot of respect here, and that NFC West, and then the Eagles, Patriots, Bills, and then the Texans at plus 1100.